Merry Christmas, you whores! It is a Christmas miracle come early. We've had an announcement from Wizards of the Coast that a ban list announcement is coming. On Monday, we'll be having bans in both Pioneer and Modern. Explicitly stated, Pioneer and Modern. I'm going to unpack the announcement, talk a little bit about it, some feelings, and make some predictions in this video. Buy your Pioneer and Modern cards now from CoolStuffInc.com. It's the link in the description below, or the code Kenobi at checkout to get 5% off your order and to help support the show. In the weekly MTG stream, they talked a little bit about ban philosophy and their plans for upcoming bans to sort out formats that may have been left to the wayside a little bit. They even explicitly touched upon the fact that no bans was probably not the correct way to go, or at least no changes with no actual description. Blake explains that it was kind of an unscheduled or incorrectly scheduled announcement or something. I don't really quite get what he's saying, but they also talk about how they should have explained things a bit further and been a bit more transparent. I will applaud the stream from Blake and Andrew Brown and Dan Musser because they talk quite candidly and quite openly and quite transparently about some of the ideas and thought processes behind the scenes and how they maintain formats. They talk about how they felt like they didn't have enough information, how they were giving it time for things to even out once period of play came back, and so on and so on. They talk about every format from Pioneer to Modern to Legacy to Vintage, all in a row, and talking about why they may look at those formats. Now, I'm not going to talk too much about Pioneer. There was talk about how having the perfect sideboard card to stop you being able to play, or one card combo on turn 3 were both issues. So I think the Discover deck and Khan from the green deck are the decks that will be targeted with the bans. I imagine the 4-mana Discover card, or maybe even Elephant Boy himself, our favourite Impregnator, or should I say Impregnator? Sorry, our favourite pregnant elephant. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I'm more terminally online with you. Get good. I'm talking about this art. I might talk about this art in a full video next week. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section below if you want to hear me wax lyrical about Quintorius being pregnant at the hands of Thalia. But I'm more interested in Modern, because I've been playing some Modern recently. I say this, I haven't played Modern for 2 weeks because I've been on holiday and I've been sick. But before that, I was playing some Modern with Mono White D&T and enjoying myself, but still finding Fury and its ilk and Red Black Scam and Beanstalk to be a problem, to be something that I don't enjoy playing against. And they talk about that. Explicitly, they mention how 1 toughness creatures are being kept out of the format. Dan jokes that some things are keeping 1 toughness things out of the format, and then Blake responds with, yes, 1 toughness things are being kept out of the format. This to me smells like Bowmasters and Fury are the 2 ones on the docket to be looked at for banning. There is a part also later on where they talk about how Omnath has a card in common with Scam, so I'm almost certain Fury is gone. If Fury is not gone, I feel that this is just like red herrings o'clock. Like they are trying their hardest for subterfuge and sleight of hand to make us think Fury is going when it is not. Fury has to be going off the back of what they're saying. I get the impression that Bowmaster was name dropped exactly once when talking about the state of Modern and 1 toughness creatures being kept out of the format. I feel like Bowmasters might also be on the chopping block, and personally, I don't really have an issue with Bowmaster. It tends to only punish decks that are drawing a lot of cards, and tends to only be a 1 damage ping towards a X1, so killing 1 X1, unlike Fury, for example, which kills multiple. I wonder if only Bowmaster and Fury go, we end up having a dominance of the 1 ring and beans, where everyone's destroying cards, playing the other pitch elementals like Solitude or Leyline's Binding. I very much doubt we'll see the 1 ring go. They did talk about in this video how they have banned cards that's still in print, Oko and Lewis in the past, and that doesn't begin to be a consideration for them. But I do wonder if the 1 ring being a huge tentpole card for the Universes Beyond product, that does come up in the meetings where they discuss what's fun, what's too good, and what needs to be banned. I predict that the 1 ring will go eventually. It's not something huge amount to play right now, but I think if what's going to happen, which I think is going to happen, Fury goes and Orcish Bowmaster goes, the 1 ring will become a prominent card in mid-range, some control decks, and Tron. I would actually like to see Beans go at this point. It was fun for a little while, but now it's not exactly my favourite card to play against, but I can see them maybe giving Beans another, like, little bit of time to live in a post-Fury world when it loses its one of its main ways to interact with creature decks in the format. There might just be a world where the Bean deck gets run over by creature decks like Infect or Humans when Fury is no longer a thing. They also mentioned that the BNR announcement for non-standard sets will move around a little bit to accommodate their needs in a 2 to 5 week window after every set release. So the next one is going to be around March 11th, which is several weeks after the drop and the release of Murder at Karlov Manor, the next standard set. This means we could be seeing bannings now to allow people to play online over the Christmas period into the new year, and then see another ban announcement coming in March to fix whatever they didn't catch this time. And I like this. I really like the idea of them being on top of the format, similar to how Pioneer was in the early days, when they were banning on a month-by-month basis. Besides that, perhaps Grief does need to go, but I wonder if just taking one of them and leaving the other one in the format, allows that deck to exist in some capacity. I do think Grief is also a miserable play pattern, so I wouldn't be surprised to see it go, but I could see them getting rid of Fury first to hit both Beans and Scam, and then Grief later if Grief continues to be a problem in the format. So my prediction is Fury and Bowmaster, although I think Bowmaster would be incorrect to do so. I'd much rather see Beans, for example, go. Fury and Beans would be my picks. There is also this problem that some very good players way better than I, talk about how certain decks are better in the format than people think. For example, Amulet Titan. There's just a chance that Primordial Titan continues to be one of the best creatures in the format when you join it with the ability to untap Karoo lands. And it just goes under the radar predominantly because it doesn't get played as much or played to a good conversion rate because the deck is too hard to pilot. Very, very good players like Dominic Harvey will smash events with it. Your average players or even slightly above average players like myself will struggle to play the deck because it requires a lot of reps and understanding and a lot of nuance. But ultimately they talked about that in the video. They talked about how it doesn't really matter if a deck is a very small percentage of the field but has a high win rate, or at least that's not as big a problem if it's a large part of the format. They went into great detail. I really recommend watching the whole video. They're going into great detail about how they talk about multiple elements of how they look to balance a format. Play rate, conversion rate as I call it, but win rate I guess is another way of looking at it, and just fun. The idea of fun in a way. There is a bit where they talk about how land destruction isn't fun for most people, maybe 80% of the player base. That bit, it bugs me on a personal level. I get what they're saying and I don't disagree with their point, but I also think that land destruction should be a part of Magic, especially when you get into modern or older, modern and legacy and things like that. Fetch lands are coming to historic soon. I reckon there should be Ghost Quarter in that format too. Well, Ghost Quarter isn't the format. I mean Ghost Quarter on Leo and Arbiter. I just want to go back and reiterate how much I liked this stream and this talk to the audience. It felt like they respected our time and energy, and I felt they were listening to the berating and the mocking of the no changes with no info and then a fucking ad in the same post. They didn't mention the ad for play boosters, but it shows that they are listening to that feedback and that they don't want to just be universally mocked and accused of not caring, and I really like that. Please do more like this in future. Please let us know what's going on. I know you talk about in the stream about not having a watch list of cards. I get that, but having an open conversation as things go on and on is dangerous. It can lead to you saying things that people don't like, but I think it's better than the absolute radio silence we got in the last BNR announcement. I'm really excited come next Monday to start playing Modern again. I'm going to jump straight in with D&T. There's a new card here, you'll see it on screen, from Lost Caverns of Ixalan that I want to play alongside Arbiter, and I want to film this week, but I've had a really stinking cold, so I haven't got round to it. Come next week, I'm looking to sit down and play the format with this card alongside my cat Jesus, and I can't wait if Fury is gone too, because maybe, just maybe, I can play Flicker Wisp again. So let me know, are you excited for Modern now? Does this make you actually want to play? Tell me in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next one, which will be tomorrow. I've got videos all week long, baby! Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that shit, and I'll see you in the next one. Ta-ta for now.